Hello, I'm Robin Boyce for City Corner. Today, join us as we talk about some losses to human beings in the St. Louis area. Memory loss and hair loss here on City Corner. Welcome back to City Corner. I'm Robin Boyce, and in our first segment today, we're going to talk about memory loss, and it's called Alzheimer's. It's a disease that can be really debilitating, not only to that person that's going through it, but to the whole family. And with us in the studio, first that we're going to be talking with about Alzheimer's is Stephanie Rohlfs-Young, who's Vice President of Alzheimer's Association St. Louis Chapter, and she's over programming. Also with us is President-elect of the Alzheimer's Association Board Chapter here in St. Louis, Dr. Douglas Petty. Hello to both of you. Thank you so much for coming in and talking with us about this debilitating disease. We talked about this earlier on as we were discussing putting this program together, that Alzheimer's is not talked about like breast cancer or cigarette smoking or some of the other debilitating diseases that are out here. Why is that? Why are we not talking more about memory loss?
Well, there are really two reasons. First of all, we know that only 45% of people who have the disease really get diagnosed in an efficient and effective manner. So we're really seeing those numbers equate to the way that we talked about cancer back in the 50s and 60s, where we whispered instead of saying out loud, there's something wrong, we need to do something about it.
So that's what it is. It's kind of a whisper right now. People are really not coming forward with the truths about what might be going on with mom or what might be going on with dad.
So there's hesitation in the professional community to accurately diagnose the disease and tell the family. But in the family, there's still a great deal of stigma. People don't understand the disease very well. So when they see signs and symptoms in a loved one, sometimes they want to deny it. They want to soften it for others. They don't want to talk about the memory, especially for the parent with the disease. We're a little bit afraid to have that conversation.
What is Alzheimer's? Explain it.
So in the simplest terms, Alzheimer's is a disease that affects how the brain works. It affects memory, thinking, confusion, disorientation, almost every element of a person's life related to how they're able to take in information, process that information, and remember that information.
Wow, this is, and it really can affect everything that they do, and this is something that can cause death, Dr. Petty?
Ultimately, yes, and by the time you look at it, eventually it's one case, one death. Until there is an official autopsy on the brain, you cannot definitively say that it is Alzheimer's. In that regard, although all of the indicators would be very clear that that is the case. And as Stephanie had just mentioned, and we'll ask her to talk a little bit more about the difference between what we call normal aging and what's considered as being strong indicators of dementia Alzheimer's.
Yes, you can have people sometimes who can just kind of forget some things and not remember where I put my purse, or because I do that all the time, where did I put the purse, or where did I put the car keys. So explain that with reference to the stages that you see with reference to the disease.
Absolutely. So we all forget things, and that's just part of being a normal human being. But as we age, we tend to find that we forget things more frequently. And what we're looking for in trying to determine if a person has normal forgetfulness or if they have Alzheimer's or dementia, and I'll explain those two terms, is how frequently this starts to happen and what types of things is the person forgetting. So it's normal to forget an appointment or lose your purse or misplace your cell phone. It is not normal to have difficulty remembering names of family members, forgetting to pay bills routinely, having difficulty with tracking conversations. Maybe you tell the same story 3 or 4 times over and over. Being able to process information, like you go to a restaurant, you need to leave a tip, you can't calculate something very simple like that.
Right.
Those are indicators of memory loss that's severe enough that we call it dementia. And the difference between dementia and Alzheimer's is that Alzheimer's is one specific type of disease, but we know of about 60 different dementias that exist.
Oh.
So, you know, we know of a lot of different types of cancers that exist as well.
Yes.
That umbrella term for all the different cognitive losses like Alzheimer's is dementia. When we have a suspicion that there's some type of dementia, the first thing we need to find out is what type. We really need to go beyond a general conversation with your doctor and get to a specialist to figure out what type of dementia you have. Because if it's Alzheimer's, it's a different treatment course than if it might be Pick's disease or Lewy body disease or vascular dementia.
So we've got several different kinds of dementias that come under the umbrella of Alzheimer's. It's the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. That was an alarming figure to see there. Is there any major research going on here in the St. Louis area, Dr. Petty?
In St. Louis, you have one of the premier centers, the ADRC, Alzheimer's Disease Research Center, led by one of the most respected scientists around, Dr. John Morris. And there's a working relationship between the St. Louis chapter and ADRC. In fact, they have been one of the recipients of one of the largest grants that the Alzheimer's Association in and of itself has granted, and it was here. It was
granting
here in
is probably something monies for
dollars
research
and cents
are really important at this point?
Vitally important. When you look at the number of dollars that are set aside for research, when you talk about heart disease, you talk about cancer.
Yes.
And these numbers are pretty clear. It's a fraction, a very small fraction of research dollars that go toward Alzheimer's research versus the others. And we're looking at an epidemic in the next 15 to 20 years in terms of how many more people will be impacted by it. But this information is on our website that they'll be able to get a very powerful look at that. Dr. Morris with the ADRC just testified on Capitol Hill within the last couple of weeks, the leadership of the Republican and Democratic Party, to talk about the importance, the significance of putting more dollars in the National Institute of Health budget so that more research can go on. The challenge about Alzheimer's is, just like they found cures for cancers and others, is that research dollars play a significant role in that process. And if you have a small amount of dollars for research for Alzheimer's, then that keeps you that much further away from potentially finding a cure.
But we do have some research that is going on at this time to really come up and make a difference. We're talking about some statistics with reference to Alzheimer's, and I found some really good information that you all sent me. We can pull the slides up on some of the statistics that the guys have. One that's dealing with more than 5 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's. I mean, actually,
in the United States.
In the United States.
35 million worldwide.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1 in 3 seniors dies from Alzheimer's. Is it preventable? Are there medicines that can prevent, like women have mammograms and you can find out whether or not you have cancer, breast cancer, some nodule, something to remove? There are no preventions at this time?
There are not preventions at this point. And I think one of the things you mentioned is very important. It is the 6th leading cause of death, but it's the only cause of death in the top 10 that doesn't have a way to slow the disease, really effectively treat the disease or prevent it. So the urgency for research and research participants is very, very strong.
Okay.
We need both. We need dollars, and we need people who courageously step into that research
environment. When you talk about a research participant, we do have programs set up here in the St. Louis area for that?
Right, and in fact, there are a number of adult studies through the ADRC, and it would be important that individuals would contact to find out more about that, because if you don't, they're looking at 2 patterns in particular where you are a child of someone who currently has or who has had, because that's one of the components. The other is that they're looking at individuals with no indication, because the only way you can get at that, you have to have a combination of the 2, and they're looking for individuals to participate.
So is it a hereditary disease? Or have they found that to be the case at this point, or no?
It can be in certain families, and to Doug's point, that's one of the things that we need to understand. If it's hereditary, we can really understand the progression differently. But for most of us, 95% of us, we might have one grandparent or one great-grandparent who had the disease and nobody else in the family. So research is incredibly important. The Alzheimer's Association has what's called a trial match registry, where people can call our 800 number or go online. You enter some demographics about yourself and your previous health background, and then we match you to the local studies like Dr. Petty was talking about.
Wow, so there is help
There is.
We need more education. How can people get more education with reference to this disease? What can they do?
Well, there's a wonderful wealth of resources through the Alzheimer's Association. We operate a 24/7 helpline that people can call with any question. We always say we have thousands of answers out there, but people don't often call, and that's what we want them to do, is to call our 800 number. Mm-hmm. You can also go online, and online through our education, or through our website, we have a wide range of education programs that people can take from the convenience of their own home. Learn more about the disease, prepare yourself for that conversation with the family or with the doctor so that you know what those early warning signs are and can take early action.
Excellent. We have also seen, in some of my research, read that a person as young as 30 years old may have the disease. And that is something that a parent may want to pay attention to if they see that their son or daughter might, be stumbling or forgetting a whole lot. I mean, what can a parent do at that point?
There has to be a mass marketing is an understatement. If we talk about the need to keep before the community about the reality of the devastating impact of Alzheimer's. I don't think it's been emphasized at the level because you can always dismiss it as, well, somebody's getting old and it's been categorized.
Right, but a young person,
Well, absolutely. Right. So therefore, unless there's information, flooded information that you can't turn your head away from everywhere you turn, because if you think about it, what about a judge? What about an accountant? What about a pilot? Just how our lives are impacted in so many dramatic. What about a police officer?
Right.
It's the number that go undiagnosed. And maybe I need to quickly say, with managed healthcare being out in the forefront now, the reimbursement for going through what is known as a full-blown assessment to determine is not very appealing to physicians. So you have a conflict in that regard because of the amount of time that it takes to go through the proper.
So there needs to be education, not only in the medical community, but in the churches, in the schools. Everyone needs to really start learning more about this disease to be able to move forward.
Right, and the association has what is called a faith-based outreach that gets into a lot of the community, get into the faith-based organizations to have a point person for all of that.
I want to thank you both so much for coming on the program and talking with us about Alzheimer's. And
thank you.
I thank you so much for coming back, and we have got to come back and discuss this matter a lot more. Thank you so much. We'll be right back in just a minute on City Corner.
All right.
Financial advisor is being accused of committing one of the largest investment frauds in the history of the United States.
I guess we're not going to Aspen. That's fine. You see, I like tennis balls. He likes insider trading. So he's going to jail and I'm going to a shelter. And no, they're not the same thing. Shelters are for good pets that want to be adopted. Jails are for criminals. I've done nothing. Uh-oh. Okay, I stole a cheeseburger once. I'm a dog.
For those dealing with the struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for advice and support.
Over 13 million people are affected by famine, war, and drought in the Horn of Africa.
Make a simple text donation of $10.
But do more than donate. Forward the facts.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified, not knowing what to do. they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
Welcome back to City Corner. I'm Robin Boyce, and in the studios with me right now is Miss Sherri Thomas, who is owner of the House of Ra Elegance. And Sherri is here to talk with us about hair loss and when women, either through aging or if they have cancer and they have to go through the chemotherapy process, they lose the hair. And you had cancer.
Yes, I did. I got diagnosed with cancer in August 2009. I've been battling ever since with pituitary cancer.
Okay, so you still are battling with cancer,
yes,
but you're looking good. You're looking great, sister.
Well,
you are looking so strong and just beautiful and brilliant. And you've come up with a brilliant process for hair loss. Tell us about that whole journey when you decided to do something about it.
Well, it actually started off when I decided to get started. I had went to London to make wigs. So I am what they call a wig master. So after I finished with cosmetology school back in the 90s, that tells my age there. Back in the 90s when I started, finished cosmetology school, I went to become a wig master, which I went to school in London, Wig Academy there. And when I came back, women really did not, I guess you can say they did not relate to the wig making.
Okay.
So when I had got sick with cancer, I had lost all my hair, and I wanted to wear something of my own. I didn't want to be out and wearing the wigs in the stores, and I made my own wig. And so one of the ladies that was getting chemo treatments with me, she asked me about my wig, and so we talked about it, and then I decided to make her a wig, and I wanted to donate it to her. So that's when I came up with my foundation, Save a Life Foundation, for pituitary cancer. And I started donating wigs to other ladies. And St. Louis Post-Dispatch did an article on me.
They sure did, an excellent article, yes.
They did an article on me, and they decided to talk about the one lady that I donated the wig to. All of these women started calling me. And
right, and now this was some time ago.
This was in 2010.
Yes,
2010.
Yes.
And
they most recently did another one on you and what you're doing right now.
Right. And so they did call me. These women was calling me, and they had alopecia, and they had different forms of hair loss. And I didn't realize how many women out there that had so many hair loss problems. And I decided to go to school and advance education and become a non-surgical hair replacement.
Non-surgical hair replacement, because they do have the surgical hair replacement doctors or businesses that they advertise all the time.
Right.
But you do this naturally and with a machine.
Yes.
And someone helped you from Boeing? An engineer helped you put this together. Tell us about this.
It's called the electronic weaving machine. That's what it's actually called. It's electronic sew-ins, as they call it. It's not braiding. It's braidless. The women do not have to worry about the tightness of the braids. It's
we're
even
showing
tension.
some of your program right now that you've put together actually a nice tutorial on how to put this together. This is excellent.
And I wanted to let the women know that at that particular time that they have something that they can use, because a lot of women don't know they're losing their hair. They're wearing these big, heavy, bulky wigs.
Right.
And with these wigs that they're wearing, they're hot.
Yes,
and then a lot of women want to wear their own hair. They're tired of wearing wigs. They're going to the dermatologist, and the dermatologist saying, hey, I can't do anything for you. And they don't know that they might have what they call male hair loss problems, what they call male balding.
Really?
And that's when the hair around the sides are there, but the hair on the top is gone.
Okay.
And so women don't know that they're buying these little hair pieces from other places. They're just spending a tremendous lot of money.
Yeah, hair costs amazingly a lot of money, but women are willing to spend the dollars on wigs and attachments and weaves, or I was told it was called wefts when I lived in Los Angeles.
Yes,
it is correct. Wefts. It's called wefts. Not weave, lady. It's wefts. So you came up with a process that with a woman whose hair is just really falling out. And you've got these wires. I saw some pictures of wires that you had going through someone's head, and you actually attached the hair.
Right. It's microfiber. It's really light, but it's also sturdy. And these ladies can wear, we can attach the pieces, even with women that have like an inch of hair.
Yes.
That we can be able to, or some of them that don't have really any. I make my own pieces for them, so those pieces look like scalps on them.
Okay.
So I actually make those. It takes me about 8 weeks to make one. And when I make those, because there's individual pieces of hair that I'm putting in it, human hair, these women are able to wear close to the styles that they were wearing before. Or some women, like one of my ladies that was in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, her hair was short around the sides, so I blended in really well. I cut the style, and we put these pieces on an electronic machine that I use. Like I said, it's not braiding, and it has a little noise to it, but it's not, but it makes it a little faster, makes the wig or the hair piece lightweight. So, and it's very much affordable. These women can wear these pieces for like 2 to 3 months without even seeing me again.
Really?
Yes.
So, and that was what I was going to ask you, is this a really expensive process? Because I know some people who have gone to get weave jobs done, they're spending $300 and $400, almost $800 on getting their hair done. People are coming in from out of town, going to Pacific People, or they're flying out somewhere to get their hair done, and it's expensive to get it done, but you're keeping it economical for ladies?
Yes, I'm making it very affordable for these ladies because I do know that a lot of women can't afford to go all over these places, and because of them having alopecia or cancer patients, that we do take insurance. So
so if you have a medical situation, you are approved by
national provider.
From national providers, where if a woman is having an issue of losing her hair, she's been diagnosed as alopecia or she's a cancer patient, they can come to you and the insurance will take care of it.
That's correct. We take the prescriptions from them. They can go to the dermatologist or their oncologist or a medical doctor. They get a prescription for cranial prosthesis, and then bring it to me with their insurance information, just like they go to the doctor. And we take care of all of the paperwork and everything, and their insurance pays.
What causes hair loss sometimes, other than the things that we've mentioned?
A lot of times it's high blood pressure. Women going through menopause, we lose our hair because of that. Some women have it because of they can be genetic, their families. Down the line, mother had it, or father.
Stress.
Stress can cause hair loss. It's so many different avenues of hair loss that we don't realize it. Thyroid, having thyroid problems can cause it. So it's not just the cancer, and some of the products that you use for your hair, such as relaxers. And I always tell people, it's not the relaxer, it's the person putting the relaxer in it into your hair. So if you're not licensed, and you have people that are not licensed that are trying to do hair now, they're over processing the hair, so that's causing it
to break off and
causing them to have hair loss.
Total hair loss. I mean, the follicle is practically almost gone.
It's in dormant. So it is.
Wow.
So when it goes into dormant, if they don't catch it soon enough and go to a dermatologist, then they're having that problem and it's never going to grow back.
Wow. So you tell me some of the comments from the ladies after they come in, and I know some come in there like, oh my God, I'm losing my hair. What am I going to do? How do they feel after you've done the wizard work on their hair?
Oh my goodness, I have women give me hugs. They come back. They also tell others. They love me to death because of the fact that they're feeling, right that time, they feel confident. A lot of women lose their confidence. They feel like, I went to the doctor, they told me I don't have any more hair.
Hair is important.
I can't go outside like this. Men can go outside like that. Women can't go outside like that. So they feel their confidence is back. So now they feel like they can go, and then they can wear their hair different hairstyles. So they don't have to worry about, I can't part it. I'm wearing this one wig and it can't be parted. They can wear all type of hairstyles. So they can wear it back, forward, ponytail. It just depends on what they're trying to do, but they can wear all the hairstyles that they want to wear like they did before.
Okay, so they're able to actually wash the wig or the hair that's on their hair.
That's correct. Go swimming.
Really?
Yes, they can go
and
swimming.
It's not going to come off, or
No.
it's just going to be there for them to take care of like they normally do. There's a picture of one of your clients who is having the process done at this point. And do you also have women who might want to have their hair done naturally, rather, because there are a lot of ladies now who are doing natural hair like yourself. It's absolutely beautiful. So natural hair is something that women are asking for?
Yes, and I know this called the kinky look.
Really?
So yes, so I have the kinky hair. I order my hair from overseas. I have the kinky hair. They can wear the afros. They can wear, you know, and the half what they call coil out style. So I do that, so they can wear those particular hairstyles as well.
Wow, the locks as well, dreadlocks. Or?
I can make anything you want. I can I can make you have little braids. Just
really.
So you can walk around with your braids if that's what you want to do. Yes.
Now, after this Post-Dispatch article, you were telling me that you've gotten calls from out of town, and ladies are coming in for consultations and getting their hair done now.
That's correct. I have a lady called me from Washington, D.C. Now, she called, she said she saw the article, and she called and talked to me yesterday, and she's going to be flying in, and she said she lost her hair from lupus.
Wow.
And so she wants to come in, and she wants to do a consultation with me because she feels that I can do something for her. I also had a lady call from Kansas City that came in. I did her hair. She lost her hair, alopecia, and so we also was able to do something for her as well, and she'll be coming back this weekend, she said, because she wanted to get it shampooed. So
see, you probably are like a dream come true for a lot of ladies. You come up with a great creation that can help women who have had hair loss. You are recognized by insurers where women can use the insurance with reference that as long as they get a diagnosis and prescription from their doctors, you've have opened up a whole new world for a lot of ladies who really thought there was no hope, that all I can do is just go to the wig shop, which is nothing wrong with it, but sometimes some of the wigs can be a little heavy and really sweaty sometimes, but you're doing a natural process where it's like you're replacing what was there.
Right, and I wanted to make them look natural and lightweight, so it's not heavy, so they can be able to know that it's just like their own hair. They don't have to worry about it being heavy, and it's all human hair. So they can wear it, I mean, they can shampoo it, they can straighten it out, and, you know, curl it up, roller set it. It doesn't matter. They can wear it. They can even color, you know, so they can wear different colors.
Coloring too.
Yes, yes.
That's beautiful. I really think what you're doing is absolutely phenomenal, and I know it makes you feel really good that you're able to do some good work for ladies and put some real confidence back into their lives as well. This is great. This is great. So people can go. Do you have a website set up yet? Or are you working on it?
Actually, we do. We had Ra Elegance, STL.com. That's the website, and they can also give us a call and come in.
All right, then we will put everything up on the full screen. We'll get that website up. And I really appreciate you, Ms. Sherri, for coming in and talking with us. Good luck to you, and God's blessings. And I really thank you so much for coming in and talking to us about saving our hair so we can just look beautiful all the time.
All the time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us here on City Corner. I'm Robin Boyce. You have a good one.